Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 4. And I'm so excited today because, as always, this is a segment from episode number 3. So, if you haven't, go back because this is so connected and very aligned with what we're going to be talking today. And what I wanted to this is a true point, but I can do it later. Anyway, so we're going back to so on episode number 1, we kind of created this healthier, hottest version of ourselves. Second, you were in the second episode, I gave you a homework to actually implement some of the habits. It's almost like creating that identity anchor in your environment, so you can always kind of remind yourself of the person that you're becoming. You don't need to go all in the next day at all. And then the third day, we were actually looking at your daily habits, your much more deeper than that, your micro actions. So what are the thoughts that comes before what are the intentions behind those micro actions that are not connected or perhaps aligned to that version of yourself. So it's very much like baby steps into we actually get the clear picture and we're actually embodying this person, this healthy person, which is going to be you. So I'm really excited about this one because I'll try to be very short, but essentially we have to find a way to automate that, right? Is that what I was going to tell? Okay, so something that I really want to talk about today, and this is going to make a huge difference in how you are able to implement habits, or perhaps any habits, in the habits of that version of yourself, right? This healthy version of yourself. So what we're going to be doing is removing any friction, right? So it's kind of connected to last week, but essentially, yeah. Okay, so we're going to remove any decision fatigue. So there's a lot of times when I hear people talking about, Julia and I tried to do the X, Y, and Z, but I couldn't because, life got busy. Or I was so tired yesterday, like I just couldn't get myself to go to the gym, right? All of these things, and not to say, I'm just giving like a random example, which is sometimes life happens, like we're tired, we are PMSing, right? Like, no offense, but something that it's really important to understand is that it's almost like you have to set up a game plan, right, for your habits to be automatic. And one thing that I noticed 99% of people are not doing, they're making those habits, those actions, and something that I noticed, which is very common, I dealt with that, I had that problem whenever I was trying to change or achieve like something like, like a big goal for me at the moment, at a time, which was you're spending too much time, you're wasting too much time on things that doesn't matter, right? So decision fatigue, I can give you like so many examples. The moment that I went all in on figuring it out, like really dissecting my routine, and understanding this, was when I wanted to compete. So I was like, never competed. I was never been an athlete before. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I was already very, very 100% like gym rat, would go every day to the gym, right? Like super, like the gym is like my everything. It's gonna be super easy. Well, because I already love the gym. I already was dieting, right, as a competitor, really, like, and I was like, that's gonna be easy. And when I actually signed up for a competition, I realized, I was like, oh boy, like that was not easy at all. I had so many blind spots, right, that I couldn't see, that I was wasting time. Like I was wasting time to get ready, like, because when I was just, not training for a competition, like I was getting ready, I was putting makeup on, getting my hair ready, I was calling my friends and like, hey, I'll wait for you, okay, yeah, let's go. I would take hours just to go to the gym. And when I get there, I was already hungry because whatever I ate it before was just like 2 hours ago. So this, and I know not a lot and this was me like, in a university. It was a different season in my life, but that was the moment I was like, uh-oh, like if I really want to do this, like everything in my life has to change. It's starting from like the moment that I sleep until I wake up. So okay, and you might be saying, okay, but this is a crazy example. I went from like this basic girl, basic, I love going to the gym, to this like, I want to be a pro, right? I want to go pro as an athlete, which is a very, I thought, and coming from that place, like, well, I thought it's going to be easy, but there's so many things, and the intention behind. So something that I started doing, and this is actually a advice from my father, because I noticed he would really try to optimize his day, right? So I think I actually got this from my father, because I would watch like her, like when I was growing up, like he would try to optimize, the daily routine with other kids, with me, my siblings. And I was like, okay, interesting. Like I would like to go to this school. My friend and my sister would like to go to this school. So we had different, tastes and okay, I'll stop talking. So, and this is just an example on how much time I was wasting just to get ready, right? And this is okay. I was in Brazil. And this was a long time ago. Okay, don't judge me. But when I realized that competing was a different beast, I was like, boy, I need to change every single thing. It's just not, trying to like, oh, I'm going to do this diet. I had to completely change what I was doing. I had to be very intentional. I had to come to the gym with, my meals very timed, because, well, that was important. And okay, but now you might be asking, nobody needs to compete. Nobody needs to go super crazy and very restricted, but automating your life in your, but having this mindset of, I'm going to remove every situation, or I'm going to try to, as much as possible, to remove this decision fatigue, right? So let's say if you get home from work and this is another example, right? So when we are automating our lives, it's like a very different thing. So and the reason why I'm saying this, because why you might be asking, I'm not just trying to so optimizing your life is so much important than any morning routine. I'm not saying, because I think morning routines, so and this is something that I realized, like I'm losing the train of thought. So a morning routine, a night routine is really nice and trendy, right? But optimizing your day is much, much, much better and actually smarter, because I have a different routine today, right? Like I have a different routine. I had a different routine when I was living in Brazil. So your life changes, right? Like you can't just do the same things every day, and we can't just pressure ourselves because we're not copying someone else's morning routine. And this is kind of silly, right? So the goal in this case is, okay, how can I make it natural for this new version of ourselves, this healthier version of ourselves? One of these things is habits, right? How you're going to make these habits automatic is actually by automating your life. And I'm going to give an example. And removing anything or any situation where you see yourself having, this decision fatigue. So for example, you get from home from work and you find that in your fridge there's absolutely nothing, and you have to cook, or you have to order on an app or something, right? So that's already, and even I'm not even talking about meal prepping here. I'm really talking about the ability to just think ahead and prepare your meals, right? I'm not even talking about like meal prepping. I'm actually talking about like, even if you don't have your meal prepped, you have to have at least a clear idea of like, what can I make in less than 20 minutes, 30 minutes? There's so many different recipes that you can do, right? That are healthy, essentially. So that's